Welcome back, Acres of Diamonds audience. I am Scott Gibbs, and I'm here with co-founder DJ Ligori, and we are here for podcast number 16. And DJ, this is a different podcast than we normally do. This one is going to deal with what?
So today, you can notice we have no guest. We kicked all of our guests out. It's just us today. And today, what we wanted to talk about was the Acres of Diamonds challenge group, and more specifically, the last challenge that was posted yesterday. The challenge that was posted yesterday was called I Remember You. And this is the 5th challenge. And so far, all of the challenges have been, the posts have been awesome. We've taken cold showers. We've beat the sun up at 5:30 a.m. in the morning. We've done quarter miles of lunges. We've burned our fears on a piece of paper. Really interesting things that we may never do or get the opportunity to think about. So this last challenge that we posted yesterday, it was an opportunity for us to thank someone in our lives who either said something, did something for us, or created a memory that changed our life forever. And in a good way. And so basically the way that the reason that we decided this was going to be the challenge number 5 was both of us are, we've talked about being gracious and being thankful of people who have helped you get to where you are. Maybe they shift a mindset you had, or maybe they got you an opportunity. And all of those, and this is our chance to say thank you in this challenge. And so that's why I think we should talk about this one today, as you know, because this is something that if this challenge had never come up, I don't know if I personally would have ever done this. I would have wanted to and thought it was a great idea, but if I would I've actually taken the action to do it? I don't know, but I do know now that I've already completed the challenge today, and it felt glorious to do it. It felt very pure. It felt very good to say that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to hearing who you're going to talk about.
So the person who I wanted to say thank you to was Coach Reggie Gerig. What he did, he probably honestly didn't even realize he did, because it's a very general term that a lot of coaches do, but due to the fact that he was the individual in that role and decided to take that initiative to do it, he's the one who I wanted to thank. So simply put, in 7th grade, I was this pale, shy, skinny little white kid who lacked some self-confidence. Most of the time I was pretty quiet into myself, and was playing 7th grade basketball with a lot of my buddies who I really looked up to, guys like Andy Miller and Nick Prince. And I specifically noted Nick Prince in my communication with Coach Gerig this morning. I personally always viewed, and still to this day, viewed Nick Prince as the best leader of our friend group and the best leader out of my friends that I knew. I thought he was a big, strong kid. I thought he had a really good head on his shoulders, and I thought he came from a really tough family. You know, I grew up with him most of his life, so I saw his dad rip into him, and I saw his dad, give him the business sometimes. And the way Nick handled it, I think personally made him who he was and who he is today. And so when we were playing 7th grade basketball together, Coach Gerig, probably during the first couple weeks of practice, he had said that the team was going to vote for 2 team captains. And I voted for Nick Prince and Nick Ross. And still to this day, I have always said, no matter what basketball team I'm ever on, if those 2 individuals are on the basketball team, I will be voting for them to be our leaders, no matter what. So I voted for those 2 guys. And when he read off, when everybody had handed in their submissions, he read off who the 2 captains were, and he said DJ Ligori and Nick Prince. And I originally thought he was joking around, so I didn't appreciate the joking around at that point, but I kind of looked over the team, and they were all kind of nodding and agreeing with it. And that was the realization point, I think, that I had, that they had perceived me as a leader and I hadn't perceived myself as a leader. So a big piece to Acres of Diamonds is really, helping other people uncover their diamonds or their value or something they may be blind to that others may think they're really good at or have a really strong passion around. And so that was that team, and that was Coach Gerig uncovering my diamonds that I had no idea I had. And that shy, skinny little kid who lacked that self-confidence, right there in that moment, I thought to myself, wow, I'm equivalent to a Nick Prince, to a leader. And so from that day on, my whole demeanor, my whole attitude towards myself of who I was or how I was necessarily perceived by others completely changed forever. And it all started with Coach Gerig just simply saying, hey, we're going to vote for captains by having all of us vote for who we think the two captains should be. So this morning I sent him that email and basically said thank you. It was a strong, pretty long email. And, I'd be lying if I didn't say I got a little emotional while I was writing it. And there were multiple times throughout the email where I thought I should probably X out of it because it was during lunch at work, and I'd already planned on telling people if they did see a couple tears in the eyes, it was because of allergies. So, but I made it through it. And at the end, I basically said, you changed a seventh grader's life, and that seventh grader was me. And the name of this challenge is I Remember You. And simply put, I remember what you did for me in that moment. So thank you. And so it was pretty impressive that he did that for me. And if anybody wants to see the full email, it's actually in the Acres of Diamonds challenge group under challenge number 5. And it's pretty powerful and it's pretty cool. And I really hope Coach Gerig sees it, and I hope he writes something back to me. So, sorry to go on for a long time, but I thought it was needed.
That's fantastic, DJ. I don't know what to say. I got emotional just listening to you and knowing as a coach and leader of people in my life how important that type of feedback is. And the reason that feedback is so important to people that are coaching, teaching, leading is because they don't get it that often. Mm-hmm. We typically take for granted that the people in leadership roles have it all going on. They don't have any insecurities. They don't have any self-doubt. They don't have any reason to need that type of feedback. Mm-hmm. And quite candidly, it's simply not true. We all need to know that we've made a difference. We all need to know that we've impacted somebody's life. Yeah. So I think that's wonderful, DJ. And I was going to weigh in on my realization today too. If you don't mind, I'd like to stop it here, and we'll do mine as a separate day. Okay. And we'll do 2 short podcasts today. This week instead of one big one.
That's completely fine. Yeah.
Because I think I Remember You, Reggie Gerig, Coach Gerig is just a fantastic testament.
Yeah, and to anybody who will watch this podcast or will listen to this podcast and personally knows Coach Reggie Gerig, science teacher at I believe Merton Williams, you can send him this. You can tell him that DJ Liguori says thank you. You can tell him that he was the sole reason behind that challenge of when we initially posted it. And I thought, all right, who can I thank? I thought that was the first thing that came to my mind was to thank Coach Gerig. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you.
All right, so we'll call this podcast 16A. Maybe characterize it a daily diamond. I don't know, but I love it, DJ. Thank you very much. Great job.
Thank you.